Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. And today's video for Natasha Denona week, I have a 2-in-1 makeup look with the all matte Natasha Denona Safari palette. And this palette is really pretty. You will see that I had an issue with one shade. And what I did on this video was that I created a daytime glam look, and then I did this nighttime glam look. But as you can see, it's all matte since the palette is all matte. I thought that it would be cool to see that, just two matte looks, since we always see a lot of shimmer and glow and metallics, and that way you can see the performance of the matte shadows from Natasha Denona is 90% perfect. You will see why in the video. So if you want to see a 2-in-1 using the Safari palette, then just keep on watching. So I'm gonna start with the daytime look with the Safari palette. So as my transition, I applied Tamarind with my E40 brush by Sigma. I don't know if I didn't get the clip from it, but you can see just windshield wiper motions from side to side. Doesn't have to be that perfect, it just has to be blended. And if you want to blend it some more, just grab a little wipe and keep blending with a clean brush. Now with a smaller blending brush, I'm gonna grab Tried, which is the dark orange right here, and I'm gonna just enhance my outer corner and deepen it up. You see that I'm tapping my brush. I'm basically not dragging it, I'm tapping it, even though it's a blending brush. And then I'm just blending the edges. Now with the same E40, I'm gonna just blend again what I just did, but mostly in the outer part. And I know this looks dramatic, but this is how I do daytime, and I will show you how I do nighttime with other shades and just make it a little bit more dramatic, because it is what it is. I'm a makeup artist, and for me daytime it just has to look soft in a way, but it doesn't have to be less glam. Now I'm gonna go in with Malia, which is this light shade right here, and it has a hint of a pink undertone. It's not extremely yellow, it has more of a pink undertone to it. Aya, on the other hand, it's more of a yellow tone nude color, but I'm gonna go in with Malia. I'm gonna just press it on the rest of the lid, and the brush that I'm using is the Morphe M213. And then I'm gonna go in with Amara, which is this shade right here, and I'm gonna use it to connect Malia and Tribe. And I'm going in with the same blending brush, the small one from Morphe, and just press it in between those two shades just to create a softer transition. And also Amara, dragging it a little bit as a transition shade. It's still not as blended as I would like it to be, so I'm gonna clean the brush. I'm blending it. Now I'm just gonna remove the excess powder that I left there for the fallout. And I basically had no fallout, just a tiny bit of Tribe. And then I can move on to my lower lid. Okay, so I wanted to film this video with natural lighting, but my natural lighting seemed to have gone. It's looking sort of rainy, so I had to put on my ring light. So you guys know now how the colors look like on natural lighting, and this is with the ring light on. So I'm gonna go in with Tamarind and the Wayne Goss 05 brush, and I'm gonna connect it with the entire lower lid to the upper activity that I did right here in the outer corner. That will create an elongated eye and a bigger eye. And this is gonna play the part of a transition shade again. It's just on my lower lid. If you're a beginner and don't know what to do on your lower lash line or your lower lid, you just have to do the same that you did on your upper lid. It's just the way it works, and you can connect it, and then when you're more comfortable you can use other colors to do pops of color or stuff like that. Now with the same brush and the Tribe color, which is the dark orange that we used, I'm gonna also connect it, but I'm gonna leave a little bit of Tamarind peeking through just to make it as a good transition. This brush will blend everything. You don't have to put a lot of work to it. It will blend everything and anything you do. And it's so soft. You will never feel this brush scratching your skin. And now same brush, a little bit of Malia, which is the lightest shade. I'm gonna apply that right here just to brighten it up. For my lower lashes, I will use my nude Rimmel liner. And for every day, this is what I will do, because it will just help keep my eyes looking super awake. And to define my eyes a little bit more, I'm gonna go in with the shade Savannah, which is an olivey green. It looks different on camera, but it's sort of the color of the palette. And the brush that I'm using is the Morphe M213. And I'm gonna just use it to enhance my lash line in a sort of colorful way. For my inner rim on my upper waterline, I use the shade Stash from the 24/7 liner from Urban Decay, and now I'm using that to just line my lash line. This is sort of a greenish color with a hint of shimmer. You can see it right here. It's an olivey grayish color. It's sort of like Savannah with a hint of shimmer, and it's good because this eye look, it's completely matte. So when I put this, it will just have a pop of something, and I'm just gonna apply my primer and mascara, and I'll be right back. So this is how it looks after mascara and the liner, and I find it to be super wearable but still dramatic and beautiful. It's definitely a daytime glam. And I already have lip balm on my lips, but I'm gonna apply this color. This is Amber by Anastasia, and it's a beautiful peachy shade that I think will complement and go beautiful with the eye look. Now bangs are gonna go down and you'll see the finished look. Okay, you guys, so this is my first look, my daytime appropriate look using the Safari palette. And now I'm gonna go film a video or two, and I'll be right back and do the nighttime look with the Safari palette. I love that it's an all matte palette, so let's just go into the second look. Okay guys, so to start the nighttime eye look, I'm gonna grab a stone, which is this shade right here. It's a lighter grayish color, and that I'm gonna use as my transition. And the brush that I'm using is the same E40 by Sigma. These colors tend to oxidize a little bit, so it's not as light as you see it first in the pan. It starts to get a little bit darker. Now I'm gonna go in with Rhino, which is this greenish shade right here, and I'm gonna deepen up with Fata Morgana, which is the blue shade right here. So I'm gonna just use the top line of the palette, which is, I've heard, is the hardest line of the palette to work with. So Rhino is the first one that I'm going in, and I'm using a smaller blending brush. And I'm just gonna deepen up the crease shade that I apply. I don't want to be super careful, so that's why I put a little bit of translucent powder underneath my eyes just to remove any fallout. Now it doesn't look perfect, but I don't mind because it starts to get a better shape when you are farther into the look. So now I'm going to grab the Morphe M213, which is the smaller brush, the packing brush that I use with Fata Morgana, which is the blue on the palette. I'm going to just press it into the rest of the lid, creating sort of a blue smoky eye effect. And I'm not dragging it, I'm tapping it. And now with the small blending brush, I'm gonna just do some blending in the outer edge of the color, softly. Because I don't want to remove any saturation of the Fata Morgana shade. But it does. You can see how it patches up when I try to blend it. So when you pack it, it's fine, but when you blend it, it's not. So you would basically need to blend it first and then pack the color on the lid if you don't want it to look patchy. So I'm going back in and packing the color. I'm gonna see how it works with my finger. Okay, so I see how people would get upset because when you're trying to place the color, it starts to take off other parts of the color. So yeah, I'm not happy with that either. And it's a beautiful shade, so it's so bad that it looks this patchy. You can see how patchy it looks. So I'm sort of regretting using that shade, and I'm gonna see if I can fix it with any other shades, but that's the point of doing these videos, is that I'm able to show you how these palettes perform truly. Okay guys, so since the blue shade was a fail, I'm gonna need to try and fix it, and I'm gonna see if I can go with a Stila pigment and do that, because it's just not what I was expecting. Or maybe this one, no, but the green one. Okay, so since this eyeshadow it's patchy, you can see it everywhere. I tried to use it wet, I tried to blend it after it being wet. I just tried different ways to use it, and it was a complete fail. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover it up. I'm gonna see if I can cover it up with Rhino and just make the entire look green, because I want to fix it within the palette. If not, I will have to put a glitter on top, and you will learn more about the palette, and that's the point of this Natasha Denona week. Rhino seems to be applying perfectly. It has fallout, and I've noticed that this has way more fallout than other Natasha Denona palettes, but it's applying beautifully. It's not getting patchy at all. Okay, so in a way, I'm excited that the Fata Morgana didn't work, because I actually ended up loving the way this looks on top of Fata Morgana. And Rhino, it's a beautiful shade and it blends beautifully. So Fata Morgana has been the only issue I've had with the palette so far, but what an issue it has. So the pigmentation on all of them is beautiful. It's just something about the formula of Fata Morgana that doesn't let you blend it. It's just harder to work with, for sure. Okay, so now for the lower lashes. I'm gonna go in with Stone again, which is the first shade that we used, and I'm gonna connect it right here, just to use it again as a transition. I love creating simple looks, not in the way that they're simple to blend and everything, but colorful and simple. It's just that you don't have to use 30 colors for your makeup to look put together or glam. I find that to be not realistic for the everyday type of makeup wear. And you know what? I'm gonna try something crazy, and I'm gonna go in with Masai, which is this color right here. This color right here, which is a wine reddish shade. And I'm gonna apply it with high pigmentation in the lower lash line and connect it with the green one on top. And for the inner part of the eye, I'm gonna go in with Malia, which is the lightest shade that I used on the other tutorial. And I'm gonna apply it as an inner corner highlight. And I love how these cream shades are this pigmented and beautiful. I just find them to be stunning and perform perfect. I'm not gonna put shimmer on this look, because since this is an all matte palette, I just wanted you guys to see how it's also good and beautiful when you create a matte look, and it can be a dark glam or a soft glam. I'm gonna clean this small brush and just diffuse Malia into the green. This look needs a liner, so that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm always gonna have to put this mirror super close, just so you guys know. And this liner, it's thicker because I'm gonna cover it up with Voodoo, which is another shade right here. I don't know how you say it in English. And this is a darker wine brownish shade, and I'm gonna cover the liner with it. It's not as dark as I would want it to be. So yeah, I'm gonna go in back with Rhino. Okay, so my liner is done. I removed my lipstick that I have from my past look, and I'm looking pale. I put the same nude liner in the lower waterline, and then I just left the one that I had from my last tutorial on my upper waterline, but you can use a black if you want. For my lips, I'm gonna use the Melted Chihuahua by Too Faced. This is a nude, but it's more of a cool tone nude, and this eye is definitely cool toned. So this is the finished look. This was definitely a look that gave me work to do. I just don't understand how a palette that's so pricey can have a shade that's so low in performance. But I love Natasha Denona shadows. This doesn't change my opinion with her matte shadows, but I know now that they can have more flaws. A lot of YouTubers were right when they were hating on the first line of the cool tone shades of the Safari palette. So yeah, the one that I only had an issue with was Fata Morgana, and the rest of them, they perform beautifully. The warm tones are amazing. They're not patchy or anything, and you can blend them. And even Reno, which is a cool tone shade, Stone oxidizes a little bit, but it's good. Savannah as well. They're all beautiful, but Fata Morgana was just a definite fail. And it's sad because it's one of the most beautiful shades in the palette. Okay, you guys, so that was it for this video. I'm happy that I got to play a little bit more with this palette. This is definitely not a look that I would wear for every day, but it could be a look that I would wear for nighttime or that I could do on a client, a dramatic client. My clients are softer than this. So yeah, I'm happy that I got to play with the Safari palette. It helped me realize stuff that I heard about this palette and that I wasn't sure about. Everything turned out okay, but this also teaches you that even though I'm a makeup artist, that doesn't mean that I don't mess up or that I don't get hassled or that I don't get upset when I have to use a difficult shade. I just always make it work, and I just try my best to make it work, and that's what I did with this look. So you will see